of the family. He's saying, whatever you do, still, that's your responsibility. Take care of it. It says, and Moses went out to meet his father-in-law. And Moses recounted all that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel. And Jethro said, blessed be the Lord who has delivered you out of the hand of Pharaoh, who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. He says, now I know. If there was any doubt before, now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods. He says, now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods. He didn't say, I believe God is greater. He didn't say, I have faith that God is greater. He said, now I know for sure. Because Jethro was a priest of Midian. Jethro had been communicating with the higher, different gods and higher sources of power. And he probably did come in aware of who the creator was. But this time, this was confirmed that now I know for sure. That's right. And Jethro took a burnt offering and sacrificed to God. And Aaron and the elders came to eat bread with him before God. And then it came to pass that after that, Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood about Moses from morning until evening. And when Jethro observed what Moses was doing, he pulled him to the side and asked him, what are you doing to the people? Why are you sitting by yourself and all the people are standing around you all day long? And Moses said, because the people come unto me to inquire about God. When they have a problem, they bring it to me, and I make a judgment. And I teach them the statutes of God and his commandments. And Jethro said, you're going about it the wrong way, my son. You will surely wear yourself out and the people. This is too much for you. You cannot do it by yourself. He says, listen to me. I'm going to give you a bit of advice. And may God be with you. Be God's representative to the people and bring the hard cases to God. You shall teach them the statutes and the laws. Is there a difference between statutes and laws? Mm-hmm. I'm going to let you look it up. You tell me next time, right? But as you can see, they kind of overlap a little bit, but apparently there is a difference because the kukak, which is the statutes, those are the laws that we really can't explain, but God is telling us we need to do them because these are the rules that he set. So whether you understand it or not, it doesn't matter. And then you have the commandments. Yeah, because he said so. He said, I am God, right? I brought you out. So when you understand where it's coming from, it's like there's no discussion here. And so, and he said, thou shalt show them the way wherein they must walk. And what do you mean by the way they must walk?
Righteously.
The way they must what? The way they must live. The way they must conduct themselves. That's, well, he's telling them, teach them the right way. That's what he's trying to tell them. And the work that they must do. What is the work they must do? Keep his commandment.
Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. The commandments wasn't set then yet. So at that time, it's being kind, kindness and caring. These are things you really don't have to have a commandment to do. So when you're doing the right thing, you're going to do the right thing in that matter because they did see evil.
Well, he says, show them the work, wherein they must walk and the work that they must do. So they have to be taught.
Yeah.
So at this point, they don't quite know what they need to do. So let's see if we can continue reading and see if we get a clue of what the work we're supposed to do is, besides just doing the commandments, right? And it says, moreover, you must provide qualified men that fear God, men of truth, hating unjust gain, people that have the integrity to be impartial and fair. Those are the people you want to put to judge the people. Because, when you don't have that kind of impartiality, when two people come in front of you and you're going to do favors for, your friends. But God is saying, don't do that. And that's why we see, even though the judicial system here is supposed to be fair, but we also know that there are times when different people come up, it may be a little biased. And this is what God is saying. I don't want that kind of judges in this nation. I want you to be just, right? Impartial. Men of truth. It's about truth. It's not about personalities or ethnicities. It's about truth and right. They say, place them over the people to be rulers of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and rulers of tens. Let them judge the people at all times. Every great matter they shall bring unto you, and every small matter they shall judge among themselves. So you don't have to micromanage them. Only in the big cases then, you may want to get involved. To make it easier for you to handle, that they may share the responsibility with you. If you do this, if you take my advice and God approves, then you shall be able to endure in the long run. In the long run. Someone said, this is what I read. He said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Don't try to do it by yourself. I think that's what he's trying to say here. If you want to last long, you're going to need help. Don't try to do everything by yourself. So this is a lesson of sustainability and also an organization. Then you shall endure, and all these people shall also go to their place in peace. Right? So, in organization, there's order, right? There's effective order. And also it's more efficient. So Moses listened to his father-in-law's advice, and he chose able men out of Israel and made them heads over the people. And Moses let Jethro return to his own land. And the advice he gave him, the commentary says, the wise plan devised by Jethro has never become antiquated. The statement-like principle of decentralization, the delegation of responsibility, is as important today as in the time of Moses. Right? What are some examples of what he taught about? A judicial system, right? Or even any organization that has a tree of a structure. This is how you're able to manage large numbers of people and cities. You got to have that organization. And so 3 months after they left Egypt, they arrived at the wilderness of Sinai. And they encamped before the mountain. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus shall you say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel. A lot of time we're trying to figure out, why is he saying the house of Jacob and the house of Israel? What is the difference between the house of Jacob and the children of Israel? Anybody? Not exactly, but a lot of people have different views on that. My view on what it's saying is the house of Jacob represents the individual or personal level, right? Because you talk to people on a personal level. And the children of Israel represents the national level. of course, there's other views, right? But that's how I would take it because it's not clear because Jacob and Israel are the same person. Well, Jacob was a man. His name was changed to Israel, but Israel became the nation, right? So, whereas some of the commentaries would say, well, the house of Jacob is the women. He's talking to the women. That's what the commentary says. And Israel is the man. I don't, like I said, I have a different interpretation of how I would take it as the house of Jacob being on a personal level, whereas the children of Israel, because it was the tribes, right? We have all the tribes of Israel, and that's who Israel is known as. We don't call the nation Jacobites, right? We call them Israelites. So that's in the more of a national level, but they are still from the man Jacob. So that's just my interpretation. And he says, you have seen what I did to the Egyptians, how I bore you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. So let's put it in perspective. You've seen my power. You know my resume. You know what I'm capable of doing. Here's the deal. If you will listen to my voice, what I mean by voice, instructions, right? And keep my covenant, and the covenant is our agreement. What's our covenant? What is our agreement between us and God? We'll do his commandments. That's the one. I will be your God, and you will be my people. That's our agreement. And if I'm the God, then you're going to do what I say. But also, I got your back. I'm going to take care of you because you're my people and you're my God. And then you shall be mine own treasure. Right? I'm Segula from among all people. For all the earth is mine. Says, I have dominion over all the earth. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. I think that's the job, right? That's the job we're supposed to do. This is your job. The commentary says the duty of the priest is to bring man nearer to God. So Israel has been called to play the part of a priest to other nations, to bring them closer to God and righteousness. The spiritual kingdom constitutes the highest mission of Israel. It says a holy nation. Here, holy means separated from the false beliefs and the idolatry of the other nations. That's the difference. And therefore, instead of following after mainstream, that is, instead of imitating the ways of Hollywood and hip hop and bling bling and TikTok and practices that are devoid of higher moral standards, we need to conduct ourselves on a higher plane. See, when you imitate someone or something, you inadvertently have to embody their spirit and essence. Or in order to capture their ways, you have to embrace their spirit, which in turn captures your spirit. So that's why, be careful who you imitate, because that spirit comes on you and all the other stuff that's attached to those vibrations. Although we are technically free from physical bondage, many of us are still mentally captive because we follow the mental script that the slave master has embedded in our psyche. This is the land of our captivity because this is the land where we have been enslaved for hundreds of years. This is the land that has shaped most of us that are here. Even though we are no longer in physical chains, we still are not a sovereign nation. We have been assimilated assimilated into our captive society. We as a people by default are subject to systemic discrimination and unfair legislation that puts the masses at a disproportionate educational and economic disadvantage. Now, I'm not suggesting that we pack up and leave this Egypt. Where are we going to go? Anybody? No, where are you going to go, though?
I'll go to
Where?
Africa. I'm going to
Ghana.
Israel.
You're going to Africa? You're going to Ghana?
I know I have a plan. Yes, I do.
Okay, that's you. What about the rest of us? I'm talking about the nation, right? Where are we going to go?
We read it every Shabbat. Where our land is, what are we planting? There are some already in Dimona. They planned that. They just didn't get up and go. But you have to plan. If you want to go somewhere, you plan. So in your heart, if you feel that that's where Hashem, where you want us to be, you'll be there. That's how I feel. You want us to be, to go back if we're able. If we're able.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
you're not, you do the best you can. But
so-
many of us can. If you got two cars and 2 houses, you can find a way to get that.
Yes,
That's
some
what I'm
people
saying.
can, but I was
Some
talking
can.
on
Okay, so
a
let's be
bigger.
truthful about the whole matter when you talk about God and wanting to return. It's got to be in your heart and soul where you feel it. And if you're able, not everybody's able.
That's what I'm talking
So
about.
you do the best.
That's
you
what
can.
I'm talking. I'm talking about on a big scale. Yes, of course, a few
There's
people
many
can
of
go,
us. That's a-
but we can't just pack up and leave. That's what I'm talking. I'm talking about the. I'm talking about the bigger picture here, nothing about the individual, because this is what happened in Egypt, where the entire nation left Egypt, and this is what we're talking about. And what I'm saying is that we cannot all go at this point, right? But what I'm suggesting is that, I'm sure you can. You got a ticket, you can buy a ticket.
And I plan on doing better.
When are you going?
Tomorrow.
When are you going?
I'm planning.
Okay,
My
all right,
family
keep
is
on.
just not me. I include people and
Mhm.
have a plan in which you want and why you want to go. Torah teaches it. That's why I want to go. Torah teaches it.
And I agree with Sister Deborah, because if that's what you want to do, if that's what you want to do, just like, we do what we do here and we get caught in that momentum, if you stop and plan, it can be done. I'm planning to do it myself too. Okay,
Right.
I'm going to be out of here. But I'm just saying, I'm done here.
Well, that's good.
But
Why?
you
Why
said-
are you doing it? Why?
When?
Why?
Well, because I want to live a righteous life, not here in
That's what I'm
this
saying.
Egypt, as you said.
Thank you. That's the reason behind why I
Okay.
don't want to be around righteous. So
Well-
that Hashem would be giving us that we have a choice. And that's really good. We all have choices.
Yes,
And this is my choice to be choosing this way for righteousness.
right.
I just want to say that Torah teaches us that when God calls us, we're all going to leave. It's not even about a plan. God has a plan, and He says we're going to call us from all 4 corners of the earth. So we have to understand that we don't need no plan. The same way He took people out of Egypt, the same way He's going to do with us in our time zone.
Right. So different people have different views on it, and I'm not saying one is right, one is wrong. Whatever you want to do as an individual is fine. But what I'm saying at this point, and I kind of agree with the sister, because I don't have a plan for the nation. Okay? Maybe individually, I might go, but I'm not even thinking of leaving at this point. I'm not ready to go, to be honest with you. Because God is blessing me right here, right now. I don't know about the future, but He's blessing me right here, right now. Wherever I go, wherever you go, live that life of righteousness. And this was my next thing I was about to say, that I'm not suggesting that, like I said, where we're going to go. What I am suggesting is that we do our job as indicated here in this reading, which is be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. Wherever you are, whether you're still here Or are you actually literally pack up your bags and go somewhere? Do your job. Because we just read, isn't that what he says? That's our job. That's our mission. To be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. Let's not look for example. Oh, we're still in captivity. Okay, so what? Do your job. Be your best. Live that life. And how do we do that to be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation? Well, first of all, stop following after the slave master's immoral ways. Stop executing the self-destructive script that he has programmed into your self-image that we reinforce through our music and videos. Keep his commandments. Keep his covenant. Be that peculiar treasure. Become a kingdom of priests and a holy nation by doing his laws, statutes, and judgments. Those so-called rich and famous stars that idolize the silver and gold and the morally devoid lifestyle of the nation be like, are you crazy or stupid or something? I'm getting paid and living large. How else am I going to make this kind of money and glorify myself? Huh? Right? If you try to talk this stuff to me, man, get away from me with that nonsense. I'm getting paid, man. And they follow after fame and fortune to show off and feed their egos. They follow after that gold trophy. They idolize it. They kiss it and literally bow down to it. Watch how they react or they act when they pass around the Super Bowl trophy tomorrow. You see how they do, right? They be like bowing down to it and kissing that. I'm like, wow, look at this. If that's not idolatry, what is?
Basketball, baseball, name them all.
Look, I watch the game. I confess. I like the game. But you gotta know where to separate, So, and meanwhile, the kids in the inner cities are killing each other. Every week, every other day, we hear about some carnage that has occurred in the various annals of society. Say, where the parents? Where the parents, again, this goes back to how the systemic discrimination, the systemic laws has broken up the family and put us in the condition that we're in. It didn't happen overnight. And there's still obstacles because, yes, they don't want to invest in the youth to giving them programs. They're even taking away programs from school. Take music away from school. Take all the arts away. Maybe some schools might have it, but before it used to be everybody had access. Now you don't have access. Like you gotta go to a special school. So those are the type of real obstacles that affect us as a people. And so there is something wrong with the mental diet of this society. America is spiritually sick. And some of us are sick too, because we are its byproduct. Some of us are slaves to our passion, desires, vices, weaknesses, whatever they may be. And God said, listen to me, and I will take good care of you, for the whole earth is mine. I want you to be a light unto the nations by being a kingdom of priests. That means you, Israel, you and I, have to show them what righteousness looks like. You and I have to show them what integrity looks like. Instruct them about his ways by living it to the best of our ability. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people and said before them all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord has spoken, we will do all that the Lord has spoken, we will do. And Moses reported the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Behold, I come unto you in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you, and may also believe you forever. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto the people and sanctify them. That is, purify them, right? Today and tomorrow. And let them wash their clothes, please. Don't come up in here sticking up the mountain. There is a saying, cleanliness is next to godliness. Cleanliness of mind and body. And be ready for the third day. For on the third day the Lord will come down in the sight of the people upon Mount Sinai. And you shall set boundaries unto the people round about, saying, Be careful that you don't come up on the mountain, neither touch the border thereof. Whoever touches the mountain shall surely be put to death. When the ram's horn sounds, they shall come up to the mountain. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified them, and they washed their clothes. You see, you have to make preparations before you can be ready to approach the Spirit of the Creator, mentally and physically, to sanctify you, to purify you, to make you holy, is to separate you from the clean and unclean, to set you apart for a sacred purpose. And he said unto the people, Be ready for the third day. Come not near a woman. You get my drift, right? Okay. And it came to pass that on the third day in the morning, it was thundering and lightning and a thick cloud upon the mountain and a very loud sound of the shofar. And all the people that were in the camp trembled. And Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet God, and it stood within the bonds. In the meantime, the mountain is rocking and smoking, because the Lord descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace. And when the sound of the horn or shofar waxed louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God answered him by a voice. Typically, God speaks with Moses, right? And then Moses would come back and relay the message. This time, everybody that was there could hear the voice. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai to the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses to the top of the mount. And Moses went up there. I'm like, whoa, I'm not going up in that. But he went, but that was faith, right? Because everybody else was like, I'm not going up there. You go, Moses. Not me. And the Lord said unto Moses, so when Moses went to the top, right? And the Lord said unto Moses, Go back down. Warn the people that they don't break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many perish. And let the priests that come near to the Lord sanctify themselves also, so that the Lord don't break forth upon them. Right, so if you come up any kind of way, you could get destroyed. And we've seen that when Aaron's sons did their sacrifices. They went up with the wrong way, and that was the end of that. So even today, we should take a note from that. Be careful what you do and how you do. And Moses said unto the Lord, the people can't come up to the mount, because you already told us. Set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. And the Lord said, Go back down and come back up with Aaron. But don't let the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them. So Moses went down to the people and told them to stay put. And while he was down there with the people, the Lord spoke all these words. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. To put it in perspective, for you, right? So that you can pay heed to what I'm saying. You don't need to ask somebody who I am. You've seen what I did unto Pharaoh and how I brought you out on eagle's wings. Because you are a witness, you've seen it. So when he speaks with authority, you need to listen. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make unto you a graven image, nor any manner of likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Furthermore, you shall not bow down unto them, nor serve them, for I am the Lord your God, I am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto the thousandth generation of them that love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days shall you labor and do all your work, but the 7th is a Sabbath unto the Lord. In it you shall not do any manner of work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger that is in your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. He didn't rest because he was tired. He intentionally ceased from creating on the 7th day. That's what he wants us to do when the Shabbat day arrives. He wants us to stop with intent to observe the Shabbat day. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God gives you. You shall not murder. He didn't say you should not kill. He said you should not murder. You should not commit adultery. You should not steal. You should not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not envy your neighbor's house. You should not envy your neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor his car, nor his bank account, nor his clothes, nor anything that belongs to your neighbors. And all the people saw the thundering. This is what it says, right? And all the people saw the thundering. How many of you have seen thunder? You've seen thunder? You've seen thunder? And it says, all the people saw the thunder and the lightning and the sound of the shofar. They saw the sound of the shofar. That's what it says. I don't know if I'm reading it too literally, but that's what it said. And the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they trembled and stood afar off. Now, don't forget, everything that was happening, it was supernatural. So if they saw those sounds, hey, and they said unto Moses, no, you speak with us, and we will hear. But don't let God speak to us, lest we die. And Moses said, don't be afraid, for God has come to test you, and that his fear may be before you, that you don't sin. That's the type of fear you need to have, that you fear sinning. But don't fear God, but show some respect and reverence. And the people stood afar off, but Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, thus shall you say unto the children of Israel, you yourselves have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make with me gods of silver or gold unto you. This seems a bit redundant, right? Didn't he just say that a little while ago? However, the commentary says, the incident of the golden calf shows that such repetition was far from unnecessary. Because right, a few weeks ago, soon as Moses went up, after what, 40 days or before that, they went to it. So apparently they didn't hear, or if they heard, they didn't understand, or if they understood, they just lost their mind or something. Because they've seen the power of God. So anyway, it's unexplainable. So that concludes this week's Sidra, right? And in this Sidra, the Creator has laid out the foundational mindset for the building and maintenance of a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. It was good enough for the children of Israel it's good enough for me, right? And the Creator brought them out of Egypt. When the Creator brought them out of Egypt, out of the house of physical and mental bondage. It is good enough to bring us out from under the current bondage that is oppressing our people today. Just as not everyone did hearken unto the Lord in the days of yore, everyone today is not going to hearken unto the message that the Creator has left on record for our salvation. Don't fret. Just do your job. Be that light unto the world. Be that kingdom of priests and a holy nation as the Creator commanded us. One day at a time. Shabbat Shalom. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. Hallelujah. Amen. Amen. So any comments or questions? Okay, I guess I covered it all. I'm glad you did. God is good. Hallelujah. Amen. Amen. All right, so with that, are there any announcements? Okay, before I say yes. Oh, no, not yet. So we have, while you're getting ready, can you introduce yourself? Because I don't think you mind?
I'm the pastor of Yeshua City of Refuge on the street. I'm the members
Oh.
a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm here today.
Oh, okay. Well, nice to see you. Nice to have you. All right. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Hallelujah. 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 First, giving honor to the Most High God. Hallelujah. And to our rabbis, members, and friends, I greet you again. Shabbat Shalom. We are truly happy to be in the house of the Lord today and to bring you a great announcement. Starting first, thanking everybody last week, coming out as family, unified in New Jersey. Give ourselves a hand. Here with one another in unity. And I apologize for the announcement I did not make at the time about the safety, because we're still in the time of what they call COVID. So, but I'm so happy that so many did use common sense. Wherever we go, we should check ourselves. And I'm praying for Mother Elia. She called me. She said, Deborah, I'm not able to come out today. I'm sneezing, I've got a cold. So all of us have to love one another, each and every one of us. If you feel you're not feeling good, it's okay. We're going to have you in your prayers. You call somebody up, pray for me. But today's times, we have to be cautious and careful, to take care of yourself and then to take care of somebody else. So I said that because I did not make that announcement. And for that, I said, please forgive me. But the acknowledgement is that now I know we all got to be more mindful, whether I say it to you or not, that anywhere you go, be safe in doing so. Get your necessary, if you have to do a tester, or if you have taken a shot, do what's right. What we just talk about, righteousness is righteousness. You're going to do what's right for yourself and for mankind. And that comes to let you know that our dear beloved, my father, Chief Rabbi Levy, next week we're going to remember the commemoration here at Bet Elohim, a special Kiddush. We're asking everyone to come out, and we're going to be happy to have our beloved, honorable spiritual leader, Rabbi Shlomo, as our guest speaker next week. And we're going to have many family and friends here. And we're going to have it beautiful and honor him. For he says, the grass withers and the flowers faded, but the word of the Most High stands forever. This is in honor of my Abba, remembering his leadership. Also, we're going to have tomorrow, February 12th, the Queens Jewish Community Council always invite us every year to their legislative breakfast. Gabrielle and myself will be attending. But this is the fellowship. When they invite, we join. We invite them. You feel so much love. And that's what we say. love, share your love. So they share that love to come out. They are the ones that distribute for us during the high holy days. Passover and Rosh Hashanah. If you remember, it's going over 20 years. Yisrael and Elkanah and Gabbai Shlomo volunteer to pick up the care packages, and they're asking us to come to their breakfast. That will be tomorrow at their temple. So I always say how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. And I want to send our prayers also to all of our members, as you know, my Ish Oriel, my sister Tamar, Rachel Gabriel, Mother Elia, and all those who are sick. Keep them in your prayer. God is able. And I hope to see you downstairs during Kiddush time. We get together because we have our meals that we want to bring, and we'll get it together for tomorrow. We're also asking if the choir, if they could spare some time so we could tune up our voices for next week, sometime today, if it's all possible. And with that, I say Shabbat Shalom.
All right, thank you for those announcements. Okay. All right, so at this time, we're going to make the Misha Barak for those who have an alt making up. Yes, we're going to make it.
Especially me because you know I can't see.
Yes, I help mommy. They did do it, mom. I'm like, I helped out. Yes,
All right, so,
I gave her.
so please stand as we make the Misha Barak for those who give an offering.
Okay.
He who blessed our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, may bless this entire holy congregation, along with all the holy congregations, then their wives, sons, and daughters, and all that is theirs, and those who dedicate synagogues for prayer, and those who enter them to pray, and those who give lamps for illumination, and wine for Kiddush and Abdallah, bread for guests, and charity for the poor, and all who are involved faithfully in the needs of the community. May the Holy One bless these for their reward, and remove from them every affliction, heal their entire body, and forgive their every iniquity, and send blessing and success to all their handiwork, along with all Israel, their brethren, and let us say, Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift up his face towards you and grant you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his face towards you and grant you peace. Shabbat shalom.
Yes.